Good day everyone, welcome to the day 2 of our yoga flow.
I'm alone, I'm a broken home. I gave you all the bricks that I own and know. I'm letting go, I'm breaking these walls down, breaking these walls down. If you want adventure, then fly to home. But if you want to travel, then go alone.
Perhaps most of you already spent large amount of hours sitting and doing nothing, maybe watching TV or working on your computer. So for today's class, we'll be focusing more on back bends. We'll lengthen the spine, we'll stretch the side body and the front to release or relieve tension on the neck and shoulders. So if you're ready, unroll your mat and follow along. So we'll start sitting on the floor on a Sukhasana or cross-legged position. You pull your glutes backward or the buttocks backward for you to sit straight and upright. Just take your hands on your knees. You can close your eyes for a moment or for a few breaths. And just take this short opportunity of time to just focus on how the breath is doing, how it is moving within the body. Notice the expansion of your chest, the relaxation happening on your shoulders or on your whole body every time you breathe out. Imagine that on every inhale, all the positive energy is going inside the body. On every exhale, all worries, negativities, all tensions are moving away. Again, take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your nose. Now slowly open your eyes and extend your hands forward. Interlace the fingers and push the palms away from the chest. Push the arms upward over the head, lifting the chest, pulling the navel in to lengthen your spine. Continue pushing the arms up as you pull your sit bones down, stretching the sides of the body. Take one more breath. Then you bend to your left. Take your left hand on the floor. Turn your right palm down and extend your hand over your head. You can walk your bottom hand away from the hip to give more stretch on the side of the body. Go lower. Just don't let the left hip or the right hip lift. Again, back to the center. Again, lace the fingers, push the palms up. Open your chest and then bend to the other side. Take your right hand down, extend the left arm over the head with your palm or arm bone turning towards the ear. Do some adjustment on the other arm in case you need more space to bend. So you can look up or look down. Go back to the center, lift the chest. Arms up. One more time, you lift the chest, the arms, extend the elbows. Then as you exhale, hands down. Now interlace the fingers behind you, roll your shoulders outward, lift your chest and extend your elbows or push the hands backward and up until you extend your elbows. Now keep pushing the arms upward, not leaning forward, and feel the chest muscles. Feel the shoulders stretching. Now release your hands and then extend your arms forward. Cross your right arm over the left. So flex your chest and see if you can intertwine your forearms together. And then lift the elbows as high as your shoulders. Now feel the scapula or shoulder blades moving outward or feel the stretch of your back. Then take an inhale. On your exhale, keep the spine long and hinge from the hip. Move the forearms down. So push the forearms down as you pull your sternum and belly up. Chin to your chest to stretch the back part of your neck. And then lift the chest up. Unravel the arms and then switch. Left on top, Cross the forearms, palms together. Then again, lift your elbows, shoulder height. Inhale. Then exhale, hinge from the hip, bending forward, moving the forearms on the floor. Again, feel the release of your shoulders and back muscles. Now pull yourself up, inhale, then exhale, release the arms. Then moving to all fours, you take your palms on top of your mat, shoulder width apart. Take your knees hip distance wide. Spread out your fingers, look forward. Tuck your toes or point. Okay, that's your own option. Let us make the spine more mobile by doing few cat and cow poses. So flex the hip, activate the back, look forward. Exhale, push the floor, chin to your chest, navel in. Again, inhale, you flex the hip. Broaden your chest. Exhale, you push the floor, hunch your shoulders. One more round. Inhale, you open your chest. You exhale, you round your back. Now we'll include the leg. Inhale again to your cat or cow pose. Lift your right leg as high as you can, but keep your hip even. On your exhale, knee forward. Inhale, bring the leg up and back. Exhale, knee forward. One more time. Inhale, you lift. Then exhale, knee forward to your chest. Then take the foot on top of your mat. Going forward, bending the right leg, pointing the back foot, sinking the hip, then take your hands upon the knee. Broaden your chest, go as low as you can or until you feel the front thigh stretching. Take your arms alongside the head, interlacing the fingers and push the elbows or the arms to extend the elbows. Then bend to your right side to stretch the side body. Now from here, you lower your right hand down on the floor beside the hip. Then continue extending the arm toward the left. Now coming back up to the center, bending the elbows 90 degrees, cactus arms, rotate your arm bones backward, chest up, sink the hip and look up. Continue pressing the top of the foot down. Continue sinking the hip, but don't force the lower back. Now on your exhale, release. Take your palms on the floor. We'll do a counter pose. You pull the hip backward. Walk the hands below your shoulders. Straighten the right leg, straighten the upper back body. Look forward on the inhale. On your exhale, you can stay. If you feel enough, stretch. If not, bend. Maybe head down to your shin. Okay, just find that enough stretch on the right hamstring, on the back thigh. Now then look forward, lift the chest. Again, bring that hip forward towards the floor or towards the mat. Then you swivel that back leg towards the right. Coming up. And then try to straighten your right leg, shift your foot in. Reach the arms up to a gate pose. So inhale, lift the chest. In case you're not comfortable with the knee, you can put something like a knee pad or maybe towel or pillow. Exhale, you bend to your right side. So you let your left side body stretch, then extend your right hand down towards the foot, but don't let the right hip pull backward just for you to reach the foot. So keep your hip, the chest at the same line as your foundations, the knee and the foot. The other arm can extend up and close to your head. Continue bending the body. As we return to the center, arms over the head. On your exhale, you bend to the left side and take the left hand below your shoulder. This time, extend the other side by pushing the right arm forward and the right foot down. Turn your right chest up. Maybe look up or just look down. So continue lengthening the side by pulling your limbs away from the hip. And then from here, extend your right hand up. Lift your right leg. As you do that, your shoulder will pass the left wrist. So you have to adjust the palm forward. From here, you bend the leg. Hold the foot with your right hand. Then pull the leg away from the hip, trying to squeeze your shoulder blades together and try to stretch this part of your chest and this part of the leg, the front right thigh. Keeping the left hand steady. Now keep pushing the hip forward. Maybe look up or down. Again, a few breaths here. And then you release your leg. Take the foot down on the floor. Coming back up to your gate pose. This time you take that left hand behind the hip, or see if you can take the left heel. If you cannot take the heel, go back to the hip, then extend your right hand up. So as you bend backward, see to it that you're not bending the right leg. So push the foot down, then turn your right shoulder backward. But I don't have any space to bend. So if you can bend backward, you move your arm backward here alongside the head. Lift the chest and try to balance the height of your shoulders by turning down from the right hip. I just hold my hip and then back to the center. Turn your right foot out, bend that right leg, palms on the floor. Then again turn that left leg back and straighten the knee. Go to your runner's lunge. Step back to your plank pose and then you lower down to half plank or maybe knees on the floor, or just lower all the way down to the mat. Point your toes backward, lift the chest, then squeeze your shoulder blades as you push the arms to straighten the elbows. Look up or forward. Then you curl your toes, go to your down dog, lifting the hip. So you can slowly and gently pedal your feet. You can bend the knees, re-extend for a couple of times, or move the hips side to side, or maybe the head. If you're ready to stretch, be still. Push the floor, lengthen the side body, the legs and the arms, and just observe the breath. Now taking the knees down, back to your all fours. Then we'll do the same on the left leg. On the inhale, you extend the left leg back and up. Squeeze your glutes, back muscles. Exhale, knee forward, navel in. 2 more sets like that. Inhale, exhale, round the back. Another round, inhale, lift the leg. Then exhale, knee to chest. Now take your foot forward. Sink the hip, adjust the back leg, and then come up. Push the knee, push the hip down, then extend your arms over the head. You're pushing the arms up to straighten the elbows, and then you side bend to the left. Go lower if you don't feel enough stretch on the right hip. Now set the left hand on the floor. If you're gonna touch the floor, it's fine. Don't lean forward just to reach the floor. You will not feel enough stretch, or you will not feel the stretch on the right hip when you lean forward. Or maybe you can use a block on the left hand. Going back up to the midline, bending the elbows 90 degrees, then bending backward. Continue squeezing your shoulder blades inward, rotating your arm bones backward. Then exhale, release the hands to the floor. Curl your right foot and straighten the leg. Half split. Walk your hands below your shoulders. Extend the leg and the spine. Either you stay here or bend forward. It depends on the present condition of your body. Look forward, re-bend that left leg. Then you swivel that right leg backward, and then straighten that left leg towards the opposite side of your mat. Readjust the right knee, then come up to your gate pose. So align the hip and the knee, the foot with your knee. Then you bend towards the left, slide that left hand down towards the foot without pulling the hip back. Then extend your right arm close to your head. Now coming up to the center, arms over the head. Bend to your right and lower your right hand on the floor. Continue pulling down through the left foot, reaching that left arm up over the head. And then from here, reach that left hand up. Lift that left leg, take your right hand a little bit forward. Then you fold the leg, hold the foot with your left hand. So roll your shoulders in and pull the left leg backward. Turn the gaze up or just look down. And then let go of your left foot. Push yourself back up to the center. Once again, extend your arms upward. And then turn your right hand down to the hip or see if you can reach the heel. So once again, you bend backward, extend the left hand back without bending that left leg, without putting too much pressure on your right lower back. So again, hold my hip. And then release. Take your hands back to the floor. Straighten both legs backward to your plank. Going down to half plank. Up to your up dog or urdhva. Then exhale. Return to your down dog. Again, inhale and exhale deep and slow through your nose. Adjust and move any part of the body that needs attention. You look forward and bend the knees. Step on top of your mat. You can either take your feet together or feet hip width apart, hands on your shins and extend the spine, or maybe on the floor, then fold over. Exhale. On the inhale, you lift the chest. Again, bring the arms up. Extend as high as you can. Then exhale, hands down to the sides of the body and take a few deep breaths. Inhale through your nose and exhale through your nose. Inhale and exhale. Again, extend your arms up and over the head. This time, pull the arms behind the head and see if you can bend backward, not forcing the back. Exhale, fold and hinge from the hip, reach the floor. Inhale, look forward, extend the spine, bend the legs, exhale, step backward to your chaturanga. Going up to your up dog, inhale. Then going back to your down dog, exhale. On the inhale, you lift your right leg. Go as high as you can without losing the balance on the left and the right side body. Exhale to your core plank, knee to your chest. Step the foot forward on top of your mat. Again, taking the left leg down. Point the foot. Once again, come up to your crescent lunge. Bend backward. Sink the hip. Bring the chest back or up and back. Arms away from the head if you can. On the exhale, hands on the floor. Look forward, tuck your toes, extend the leg to a runner's lunge. And then come up to high lunge. If the pose is too much, you can take that back leg closer to the front. Also to lessen the weight or the intensity of your quads and hip. Again, bend backward. On the exhale, return to the center. Then extend your hands to the sides, turn the thumbs down. You can interlace the fingers, you can hold your elbows, or you can take your palms together like a reverse prayer pose. Straighten your right leg. Readjust the back foot, shift your left hip, the left foot forward. Inhale, broaden your chest. On the exhale, you hinge forward from the hip joint. You can just pause bottom to the floor and feel your right leg. If you don't feel enough stretch, then bend lower. For some, you can maybe move your head or your chin down to your shin. Just do not force. And then slowly lift yourself up. Rebend your right leg, adjust the back leg, and return to your high lunge. Hands down to the floor. Take your right leg back and up. Moving your left knee down, look forward. So you have to shift the chest forward as you bend the elbows, and simply bending down, lowering the elbows backward. So chest forward and down, chin on the floor, fold the bottom leg and rest your thigh on the foot. Stay here for 3, 2, and then 1. Now you lower the feet. Press the palms, extend the elbows, lift the chest and bend backward, up dog. Exhale, tap your toes and bend forward, down dog. Now you lift that left leg up. Exhale your knee, take the knee forward and step the foot on top. Then right knee down on the floor. Once you square the hip, you extend your arms up and bend as far as you can. And then you lower your hands down on the floor. Curl your right foot, extend the leg to a runner's lunge. Look forward and then come up to a high lunge. Keeping the hips strong and steady, as well as the legs. Now you arch or bend backward. And then release. Step your right foot one step forward, straighten the legs. Again, you know your options. You can lace the fingers, you can hold the elbows, or prayer pose. Whichever option you have, you try to squeeze your shoulders fully, expand your chest. Then inhale, on your exhale you bend forward. Go down inch by inch, breath by breath, trying to feel the legs, the back. Feel that comfortable stretch. And then lifting your chest up. Again, rebend your right leg, release the arms over the head, or rebend that left leg back to high lunge. Then hands down on the floor and take that left leg up to your ekapada or one-legged dog. Go forward, take your right knee on the floor, continue shifting the chest forward as you lower your chin on the mat. Fold your right leg. Remain on this pose for 3, 2, and 1. You lower your feet on the floor, hip, and then lift the chest. On your exhale, going back to your down dog for 5 breaths. Again, if you need to rest, if you feel the body starting to fatigue, then you need to go to your child pose, pause and rest. But you still have the energy, then remain on this pose. Be active, be strong. And then you fold the legs, look forward. You can jump, you can step on top of your mat. Extend the back to lengthen. Inhale and exhale. You bend forward to stretch the legs. On the inhale, you come up, hinge up from the waist, arms overhead, and again, bend back. Exhale, return to the center. Hands by your sides, look forward. Again, soften your shoulders. Deepen your breath. And if you're ready, again, reach the arms overhead. Inhaling fully, bend backward. And exhaling fully, fold over. Next, inhale, look forward, flat back. Bend the legs, palms to the floor. Step or jump to your low plank. On the inhale, you lift the chest. Go as high as you can. And then exhale. Go back to your down dog. Again, you lift your right leg up and back. Then exhale, core plank, knee to chest. Take the foot forward. This time you walk your hands backwards, sit next to your left heel. So again, in case you are not okay with this pose, it's hurting your ankle, your knees, you take a block if you have one, or if you don't have a yoga block, you can just sit on a pillow, put a pillow below the hip, or maybe towel. So bend your right leg. So you align your heel and the knee. Align the right foot with the right hip. Then take your palms right behind your hip width, or the shoulders, or the palms shoulder width apart. Then try to push the floor, squeeze your shoulders and lift the chest. Then see if you can lift the hip up and forward. So the higher you lift the hip, you can feel this one, the front part of your thigh and the front part of your hip. Also your chest muscles and the front delt will stretch. Again, go as high as you can, maybe head backward or chin to your chest. As that you lower. Now you extend your right leg for a counter stretch. You take your knees together. Readjust the hip, maybe pull your glutes or the buttocks out so you can sit or flex your hip and sit taller. You flex your right foot, then extend your arms up. Inhale. Then exhale, you fold forward. Again, focus on the forward movement or rotation of the hip. Observe the hip hinge. Without that rotation of the hip, you might end up hurting the back. So as you fold, you can just rest your hands here, maybe reach the foot, maybe lace your fingers around the foot or head down on your shin if you're really flexible. And then slowly lift your chest. So this time you take your left leg out and forward. Shake the legs, maybe rotate your ankles, flex and point your toes. And then pull your glutes backward, sit straight, flex the feet, then extend your arms up. Inhaling and exhaling, you fold forward. You can just hug your toes and try to flex the hip, keeping the spine straight and feel the legs. Or you can continue extending the body forward, going closer to your legs. Or maybe move your head down to your shin, but if you feel the lower back, if you begin to feel tension on the low back, just calm up a little bit. If your back is good, then go down until your face rests between your shins. Now you lift the chest, hands behind you, fold the legs, reverse tabletop. Again, feet hip width apart, palms shoulder distance. Continue pushing the chest up as high as you can, then lift the hip up. Squeeze your glutes or every muscle of your back body. As then you lower the hip, you cross the legs. Maybe for a moment you can counter stretch the wrist. And then take your palms forward on top of your mat, extend the legs backward to a plank. Going down again to half plank, up dog, and down dog. Now you take your left leg up. On the exhale, knee forward to your chest. Bring the foot on top of your mat. Set your right knee on the floor and point your foot backward. Then go and sit backward next to your heel. Do some adjustment on the leg. Maybe take a block or just sit on the floor if you're okay with your joints. Now from here, take your hands backward below your shoulders. Fold the left leg. Then you expand your chest and push your feet to lift the hip. Again, breathe deeply and slowly for 3 cycles. 2, and then 1. Now take the hip down, Triangle Mukha, straighten the left leg. Again, rearrange your hip or sit bones. Lengthen the spine, reach the arms up. On your exhale, you fold forward. Hug your toes. Again, stay or maybe bend. You can even take your head down to your chin as long as your back is okay with this one. Good. Look forward and lift the chest. Lean to your left to extend your right leg forward and out. Once again, you bounce the legs. You shake your feet or circle your feet. And this time you cross your legs. Then take your hands behind your hip. Now we lift the hip upward as high as you can, pushing the knees down. So as you lift the hip, you have to feel the inner thigh muscles. Also the chest. So arch the spine as high as you can. As deep as it can go. And then you lower. Again, give yourself a moment to counter stretch the wrist. And then take your hands on the floor. Straighten the legs. Backward one at a time. And return to your Chaturanga. Urdhva Mukha. And Adho Mukha. Exhale. Now take your knees down for a moment. Rest for a few breaths on your child pose. Lower the head and soften your shoulders. Just observe your breath and don't let the mind wander. Now if the body is ready, you go forward to all fours and then you lie down on your belly. Take your chin on the floor. Now hands beside your hip. Feet together. Now squeeze your shoulders in. You lift the chest as high as you can. Legs up, arms up, and stay here for 3 breaths. And then you lower down. You can turn your head to one side to release your shoulders and neck, or just stay on your chin, as long as you're okay with your neck muscles. The next, interlace the fingers behind your hip. Roll your shoulders out, lift the chest, and then see if you can lift the legs up, chest up, and also your arms away from the hip if you can. For me, I have super tight shoulders, so I cannot pull the arms away from the pelvis. And then you lower. Again, turn the head to one side. Take a rest for a breath or 2. Now The next one, you bend the legs, have your feet. You can hold the back of your ankles or the tops of your feet. Again, shoulders in. Try not to open your knees wider than the hip. Chest up and see if you can pull the feet as high as you can, squeezing in your shoulders. And then lower. Let go of the legs, turn the head to one side and rest. We'll do that one more time. Fold the legs, then you hold your feet. Squeeze your shoulders, navel in, and then see if you can lift your legs and chest as high as you can without putting too much contraction or discomfort on the low back. And then down. Now set your palms by your ribs, tuck your toes, and press the balls of your feet. Press the balls of your feet down until you feel your knees move off the floor. Then push yourself up, navel in, going back to plank. Then back to your down dog, decompressing the back body. And then have your knees down. So take the knees together. Take the feet wider than your hip, then pull your calf muscles backward to give space for the thigh bones to go down between your shins. Again, you can use block here, sit on the block or a pillow if you're not okay with your knees and ankles. Sit upright for a moment, resting your hands on your lap, sitting straight and upright. And at this time, you take your knees hip distance wide. Curl the toes. When tucking your toes is easier compared to pointing the toes backward. So for the more advanced, point your toes. Now you stand on your knees, hands on your waist. We'll do straddles in our camel pose. Roll your shoulders outward and down away from the neck as you squeeze your shoulders and or your elbows in. Lift and broaden the chest. Now see that you continuously push the seat bones downward and the navel inward as you attempt to deepen the back bend. So bend back, then rotate your right arm out and down to your heel, the other arm out and down to the other heel. So once you have your heels, squeeze your back muscles and push your chest up, then continue pushing the hip forward. Maybe you can look back or just chin to your chest. And then on your exhale, come back up. And then sit. Bring your knees together, feet together. Counter pose. We'll do hair pose. Shasangasana. You take your heels with your palms. Inhale. On your exhale, draw your navel in. So chin to your chest, rounding the back. Then put your forehead on your knees and the top of the head on the floor. And from here, slowly push the hip up until you feel the lower back stretching. Continue pushing forward until you feel the back of the neck and the back of your shoulders or mid-back. And then you release. So roll up vertebra by vertebra. So point your toes, swing the knees or the feet out and forward. So extend the legs forward. Now lie down slowly. So for a moment, rest here. Soften your shoulders, back, and hip. Now the next pose, you fold the legs, hip width apart with your toes pointing forward, knees and toes pointing forward. Bandhasana or bridge pose. Now you lift the hip as high as you can. As you do that, you shimmy your shoulders in. See if you can interlace the fingers and extend the elbows, pressing the feet firmly against the floor, and then keep the hip up. Stay for 5 long and easy breaths. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now slowly lower your hip. Let the spine roll vertebra by vertebra. Upon taking the hip down, you take your knees together, feet apart, or simply extend the legs forward. Now we'll do that one more time. Again, set your feet hip width apart. Lift the hip. So this time you take your palms underneath the hip. Push the hip up as high as you can. Now you walk your feet forward, slide your feet forward until you straighten the knees. And continue lifting the chest and the hip up, using the hands and the power of your glutes. Setu band or full bridge. And then you walk your feet backward. Again, lower the hip, knees together, feet apart, or simply extend the legs. Rest for a few breaths. Now for the final pose, not final pose, for the peak pose, Urdhva Dhanurasana or full wheel. Well, I cannot do this pose perfectly because I have super tight shoulders, but I'll try to do the pose. So take your palms below your shoulders. In case you cannot do this one, if you have limitations on your shoulders or weakness on your shoulders and legs, then you can just do the bridge one more time or twice more. So take your palms below your shoulders, fingers pointing forward. So important thing to check is the elbows should not flare out. You have to keep them pointing upward. And to do that, you have to focus on pressing the mount of your thumb. Now, lift the hip as high as you can. Then push the floor, taking the crown of the head down. Look backward. You can just stay here or push if you have the strength. Push the hip until you straighten it's slippery. Until you straighten the elbows or until you lift the hip as high as you can. So go higher as long as you're not feeling pain on the low back. But I think this is my limitation for now. Okay, lower. Back of the head down, then the shoulders, then the rest of the spine will follow until you lower the hip. Again, knees together or extend the legs forward. So we'll try to do that one more time in case you still want to challenge yourself or you want to deepen the pose. You can lift one leg up. You can lift one leg up on the bridge as well if you choose to do the bridge. So going back to your wheel pose. So palms on the floor, hip up. And again, look backward and push. Go as high as you can. And then release. So just let the spine release, hands on your sides, let the shoulders, the legs release. Take a few deep breaths. And then you hug your knees to your chest. Pull the thigh bones down, stay here for a moment to decompress the back. So really pull the thighs, press your shoulders down, feel the spine lengthening. So next one for your core, for your abdomen. You extend the legs up, Viparita Karani, flex the feet. You can just rest your hands on the sides or up overhead. So try to keep your legs straight and steady. Then you lower the legs 30 degrees. In case you want to intensify the pose, you can go all the way down but don't touch the floor. If you feel the lower back is hurting as you lower the legs, meaning your back muscles are the ones taking over and not your abdomen, so you have to lift a little bit higher. Okay, just to prevent the overcontraction or shortening of the lower back. Then again, hug the knees to your chest. And then release. So we'll do that one more time. Rest for a breath or two. So one more round, so the same thing, but we'll make the pose dynamic. So arms overhead or beside the hip. Go to your leg raise. Inhale down as low as you can. Exhale, bring the legs up. And see if you can bring the legs lower, closer to the body. Squeezing or contracting the hip flexors, belly, the front thighs. And then lower down. Inhale. Exhale. Legs up and down to your chest. Again, lower down. Inhale. So you do this 5 times. Exhale. So that was 3. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. And then hug the knees. Maybe roll or move to the left, to the right. Then let go of the legs. Now you take your knees together and down to your chest. Cross your right thigh bone over the left. Gumukas on the legs. You take your shins or the feet. Then pull the feet outward and the knees downward and together. So this should stretch the right hip. And then lower your right leg on the floor. Hug the right knee down to your chest. Take the back of your shin or the foot Extend the leg, ground your shoulders. Tuck your chin to your chest. Then you hold the foot with the left hand, or if it's too much for your hamstring, you can just bend the leg, hold the knee instead. Right hand down to the right and pull the leg to the left. Adjust the hip for a twist. We're going to feel the right hip, right lower back and chest stretching. And then release back to the midline, bend the knee toward the body. Then extend. Again, hug both knees to your chest. Now the left will go over the right. Take your feet or your ankles. So squeeze in your thighs and your shoulders pressing against the floor. Now you feel your left glutes. Then extend your right leg forward. Pull the left knee, take the foot or the shin. Straighten the leg. Ground your shoulders, lengthen the neck. So you can take your foot, or you can just hold the knee and then go to your right, twist and extend the left hand to the left. Now release, hug the knee down to your chest, then extend the leg forward. For the final time, take your knees toward the body. Grab hold of your big toes or the edges of your feet, knees apart, and roll side to side. Or move to the left and to the right to release your back, your hip. And then finally, the last pose, Savasana. You extend the legs forward. Lift the hip and extend the lower back. Feet apart. Lower your hands alongside the body, palms facing up. Ground your shoulders to release the neck. Move your head side to side. Then start to close your eyes.